Hey lovelies, here we go, back at it again. Now we've just done quite a heavy read. I mean, it's like, what's the time? Oh, not even 10 o'clock in the morning, and we've just done a heavy read on narcissist and being in love with the narcissist and the behaviors and the coming out of it and the self-love. So I now want to do a self-love healing type of reading with my healing deck. That's why I created this, because we all need some reminders on what self-love looks like, and, you know, some hints and tips on self-healing as well. So I just want to do a spread for healing, just because if you've been following me for a while now, you'll know that I don't like to just dump something heavy on you fellas and then go, there you go, see you later, can't deal with it. It's just not my way. Alright, so what is it that we need to know, please, in terms of self-healing? What do we need to know for self-healing, please? Okay, divine gifts. Divine gifts, what else? Ancestors, that's a good one. Heart-led. Elevation. Omen. Alright. I'm seeing that there's a random card there. Okay. You know, I finished up in part 2 of that narcissist reading on when you do that, when you identify the toxic traits and behaviors, make the changes that are necessary, and, you know, honor that call to order, then you work your way towards the getting everything you ever wanted, and not necessarily in another love relationship, although that would be nice, but a lot of the time you need to do that self-heal and self-love exercise and work first before you put yourself into another relationship. Otherwise, you just end up copying and pasting the same person across. Okay, so we finish up on the everything you ever wanted. Now, the everything you ever wanted could be once you've recognized and start attracting, because you've done that work on yourself, you start attracting that abundance and that lifestyle and everything that you want, you open yourself up to some of the divine wisdom that's then accessible to you, and the innate talents that you're born with, your soul purpose, your soul mission of why you're actually here. So you've come away with all these harsh lessons, still licking your wounds, I'm feeling, and getting here, which often happens after you've come out of a relationship with a narcissist. But when you've done that inner work and you move towards everything you ever wanted, you start tapping into this, the divine gifts, okay? And that really helps with the self-healing and self-love journey as well. Because when you start tapping into that wealth of information around the divine gifts that you've been given, and usually it comes from above, it comes from the divine. So many of us recognize that there is a higher being that is greater than ourselves. So that could look like for you God. It could be your version of God might be I look to the divine, or your version of divine and God might be I look to the universe, or my ancestors, or my guides, or my angels. So whatever that looks like for you, it's saying here with this card that when you've tapped into this, the divine gifts, know and feel that you have your ancestors around you, with the divine or the universe, that's cloaking you with their protection, cloaking you with their love, cloaking you with their wisdom, and arming you with knowledge in order for you to move forward and live your true and authentic and best life. Okay. Such a beautiful card. The next one is, you know, quite often the narcissist forces us to be up in our mind and in our head. not often in our heart, because they get very overwhelmed with matters of the heart and emotions and love. It's like they can't handle it. So we're forced to be up here a lot of the time and think in it, use our heads. What this is saying is go back to letting your heart drive you forward. Let your heart lead and choose to have your heart over your mind. Now, yes, sometimes we do need to use our head and our mind for certain things where there's a logical or some sort of methodical explanation that's required. Say if you started a business, we need to be methodical in our approach. If you've started a new job, we need to be logical in all the logistics and planning that goes around the household, for example, kids, how we get to and from this new job and the location. Okay, so the call out here is, once you've sort of settled yourself, is go back into that heart chakra, go back into your heart and let your heart start driving some of these decisions. And meditating quite often happens with that as well. Quite often happens, what I meant to say was meditating quite often helps for you to center yourself and to find that heart chakra again, to start using it, to then allow yourself to be driven by heart-led decisions. That's the words I was trying to get at before. That all came out a bit all over the shop before. What else do I want to add with this? I thought of something, now it's just slipped my mind. Oh, that's the other thing. So meditation, but also, so if you're not really someone that meditates, for me it takes a lot to meditate, which I know sounds a bit silly, but I center myself and align myself in other ways, and that for me that comes in a form of breathing. So I do a lot of box breathing, particularly when I feel anxious or when I'm overthinking in a situation too much. I'll just stop myself and start doing a box breathing exercise. So just a very quick tip here, because we're running out of time. We've still got 2 more cards to go through. Box breathing is when you breathe in for 4 and you hold it for 4, then you exhale for 4. When you've exhaled, you hold it down for 4, and so you're doing the box. Okay, so 4 breathing exercises all in the one. Just a quick tip. Right, so the next one is when you're on par and when you're completely aligned, so leading with your heart, realize that you've got all this protection and your ancestors in the universe that's aligning with you, tapping into your divine gifts, you're going to see this. You'll start naturally evolving and feeling like you want to do this anyway, but you'll experience not only a reinvention of this new version of you, but an elevation where you start moving and ascending towards something, because you are now finally aligned with all your chakras, or aligned with your values and the life that you should be living, is another way of looking at it. Completely aligned and moving towards something and embracing this new reinvention of yourself and who you are always meant to be. Okay, and really claiming that path ahead, just knowing that the potential is there, and how to tap into that and fully unleash. Okay, fully unleash. And then the last card here is around omens, and feeling here that it's come out in the future part of this. But what I would say is that when you start feeling on track, you know, all of these things, this is not a linear process, by the way. Like, it isn't that this happens, then this happens, oh, and then this happens, oh, and then we have that's happening. Like, all of these, you could be experiencing like the ascension first, where you start feeling like you're naturally evolving towards something, and then this might creep in, this might creep in. So it's not a linear sort of thing where it happens in order. So that's why I'm throwing this somewhere in here, because you're starting to feel the shift and see signs and synchronicities around you to make it obvious that there's an ascension that's happening for you and to you, that there's change in the wind, that you can almost touch it, feel it, smell it. Okay, so there's signs around you. It could be also angel numbers if you're a numbers oriented person, or people showing up in your life again. Okay, so look out for these. So I hope that helps with your healing journey. That's the message.